Discuss further with jury consultant Alan Tuerkheimer. Alan, thank you so much for being with us. How do you read the jury's requests so far? Does it tell you anything about where they might be in the deliberations?
There's so much information that they have. I can't tell you specifically what they're trying to do or what they're piecing together or if there's a split in the deliberation, but it's information overload. A trial like this, of this magnitude with all these witnesses, and then you get this ambiguous and complex law that each side is trying to get the jurors to have different interpretations of. So it is a lot. And I think one of the instructions that struck me was, you're allowed to take notes, but then when you bring them back in the deliberation, you're not allowed to rely on somebody else's notes. So when that happens, they were said that you have to attach significance to the actual testimony or the evidence. So that might be why some of the jurors might be thinking about their notes, but then a juror who maybe didn't take those notes is saying, well, I had a different recollection. And maybe that's why they're asking for more information, for more testimony. But there's just so much out there. It's so much out there for one person. And then you think about it, you have to get 12 people to agree on it. And it's hard to get 12 people to agree on anything. When they're ordering lunch, if they're asked, what do you guys want for lunch? You think 12 people are going to say right away, oh, let's have sub sandwiches or whatever it is. It's a difficult task indeed.
Yeah, no question about that. Is that also typically why a jury might ask for parts of the instructions to be reread? Could it be that they either remembered instructions differently or that they interpreted them in different ways?
Sure, you could have a juror say that when the judge read the instruction on making inferences or circumstantial evidence, I thought he meant X, Y, Z, and another juror meant, no, I think it's more of taking a leap where there's no direct evidence. And if there's any kind of dispute or controversy or even disagreement in the jury, it can be even mild or low key. They might think, okay, well, we're not sure. We have to get it right. Let's ask the judge. And it seems like that's what they're doing.
Alan, I want to get your thoughts on this metaphor that Judge Merchan used about rain. Essentially, he was telling the jury that they could use common sense or infer certain things based on evidence. The rain metaphor is essentially that you don't necessarily have to see it raining to know that it did. Like if you take a nap, you wake up and there's water on the ground outside, there's precipitation all over the place on your window perhaps, you can kind of logically deduct that it rained. What do you make of that in the context of this case?
Right. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's snow where I come from, but they're just trying to piece it together, and they're assessing something. And some jurors might be thinking, well, we don't have a smoking gun. Maybe that came up. That's talked about a lot in deliberations, or some kind of real direct evidence. But it's the common sense aspect that you just referenced, that if some jurors have a really strong feeling based on evidence and they think that they can get to this point, that they can connect the dots, they want to know if that will fit within the definition of circumstantial evidence. It's not direct evidence, but circumstantial evidence, as judges often say, can be just as powerful and persuasive as direct evidence.
So would you say that benefits the prosecution then?
I'm not sure. Sometimes you have jurors playing devil's advocate, and they might say, well, let's just take everything in light most favorable to the prosecution. Let's see if we can get there, and then maybe they can't. So it's hard to know which side that really benefits. What it tells me is that they are really taking this seriously, and if they have any questions that come up, they're not hesitant to.
Alan Tuerkheimer, you got cut off right at the last second, but we got the point, and we appreciate your perspective. Thanks for being with us.